Welcome to Bet On It, the college edition. I promised Marco I would not drink too much wine yesterday, and I lied to him. I am Kelly Stewart, your host for this afternoon at Kelly in Vegas, joined by Marco D'Angelo at Marco in Vegas and Greek_Gambler. That's right, VR.EST, the man of 87 nicknames. You guys ready to start talking about these primetime games? We have some really good games this week.
Yeah, we do.
I'm excited. Well, I wish I got to sit on my couch and watch football all day, but I'm excited to get to watch these games nonetheless. Let's start with Alabama at Auburn. Alabama, 3.5-point favorite. Marco, I'll start with you. This looks like it's begging for everyone to bet the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, well, you know, Alabama, game one without Tua was no problem. Mac Jones did everything asked of him, but they were playing Western Carolina. I mean, come on. This is ridiculous with the SEC having the cupcake schedule at the end of the season.
And only having to play 8 SEC games, yeah.
But it is what it is. We look at this one. He's going to be facing, obviously, a real defense this week in Auburn. And Auburn's played well this year. No one scored more than 24 points on Auburn this season as their defense has kept them in all of their games. Auburn's 3 losses this season have been by 11, 7, and 3. So, I mean, they've really not been blown out in any game. They do have a freshman quarterback, but which do you want now? You want the freshman quarterback at the end of the season that's already faced teams like LSU, Georgia, and Oregon at the beginning of the season, or do you want Mac Jones, who has got, you know, a big upside, would probably be starting on just about every other college football team in the country, but he's never been on a stage of this size. We know the rivalry between Alabama and Auburn. Anybody from that state, you know, it's like you're one or the other. You know, families get divided between Alabama and Auburn. I got to go with the home dog here. Use your quote, primetime home dog. We've got to look at Auburn plus the points. I think
this is college, not NFL, because those primetime home dogs in NFL have not been barking this year.
I'm taking 23-20. I'm calling for the upset.
All right, VR, this Auburn team, I've only bet them a couple of times this year, and most notably was against Georgia. So initially I'm a little gun-shy here. But this Georgia defense is much better than the Alabama defense is this year. I don't know why. Nick Saban historically does have better defenses. As we saw in the LSU game, they just got worked. Marco mentioned Bo Nix. Your thoughts on this game?
I got to agree with you. I mean, listen, Auburn's got a chance to play spoiler and knock Alabama out of that Final Four and playoff contention. And more importantly, the last time Alabama went into Auburn, if you remember, they were about 4.5-point favorites and lost that game outright. Listen, now Alabama's Alabama, but the odds makers have done a really good job of not allowing bettors to make a lot of money back in Alabama. I mean, even when they have those 10-1 seasons, you're lucky for them to be 1-2 games over 500. You throw in the VIG, and they're barely profitable. So they've done a real good job of that. And I think this is another case where the money's going to come in on Alabama, not surprising, even though without Tua there, I think they'll still attract money. And this line may climb, and if it does, I believe the value's on Auburn as well. Just not too sure if they could win this game. Looks like the kind that'll come down to a field goal either way, so if you could get over 3 on the Auburn side, I think that's the way to go.
I agree with you. I think it's going to stay over 3 because they do know they're going to get the Alabama money, so they have to shade the line to 3.5 to just give themselves a little bit of protection here. Okay, Bedlam, Oklahoma, minus 13.5 at Oklahoma State. VR, I'm going to kick it back to you. I think we're a little divided on this one.
Yeah, we laugh about Oklahoma because the opposite of Michigan. Michigan's that hill you probably don't want to die on, but Oklahoma appears to be that hill you may want to take a shot. But they're not going to cover spreads. That's the problem. But they continue to win games, and that's been the most difficult thing with dealing with this Oklahoma team. How do you adjust their power ratings? I mean, do you continue to drop them because they're not covering against the Vegas number? Or do you leave them where they are because they're still winning the games? And that's the difficulty. I mean, because when you look at the talent on that team, how much can you continue to drop them? I mean, you know, they are a top 5-6 team in college football. It's hard to argue that. And for me, I think it's another spot where bettors have given up on Oklahoma, and I don't blame them for that. I mean, they've burned through money, especially of late. But I believe the market just isn't correct because of that. I think you're getting a really good team at a discounted price, so I have to look to Oklahoma. Again, I haven't made a single college football bet so far this week, but if that game was tonight and I had to bet it, I would bet the better team, Oklahoma.
All right, that is a good side note. It is Tuesday. Normally we film the show on Wednesday, so a little less information, especially from guys like VR. His sheet is still lit up like a Christmas tree over there. So
we fired, but the only thing is, see, a lot of it is setting stuff up. A lot of it is
like head fakes.
And waiting to see how the market, what's going to happen and what's legit, and how the market, once the betting limits increase. Like, so much goes on between Wednesday and Friday for college football. It's ridiculous.
You can blame Thanksgiving for that one, guys. All right, Bedlam has always been a fun rivalry as a Big 12 girl. Oklahoma almost always wins this game, Marco. Last year, Oklahoma State put on a clinic. This game was almost 100 points. It was absolutely insane. I like Oklahoma State here, at least catching almost 2 touchdowns. I don't think we will see a 14, but your thoughts on this rivalry game?
Yeah, I leaned to Oklahoma State in this one, but I actually told the graphics girl the wrong play for me. I'm actually on the over in this game is my official play in this one. And it is one of those. And if you look at Oklahoma, this is my concern with Oklahoma. You look the last 4 weeks, the defense is deteriorating for Oklahoma. They are starting to look like the Oklahoma defense that we saw last year. Yes, they're still winning the games, but they're giving up too many points.
That's why they're not covering, yeah.
They're not covering the games, and you look at what's happened. Their last 3 wins have been by a combined 8 points over Iowa State, Baylor, and TCU. You know, Iowa State, good team, plays a little defense. Baylor, good team, plays defense. TCU, supposed to have a good defense, but offensively they were challenged this year with all the injuries they had at quarterback and that, and TCU still traded points with them last week. I got to look at this one and go to the over. Oklahoma State's defense ranked in the, they're way down there. Where are they at? 68th, allowing 5.7 yards per play. I think both teams are going to go up and down the field. And then Mike Gundy, for head coach for Oklahoma State, they're already bowl eligible. So they don't have any pressure on them. They're going to try to play spoiler. They're going to take chances.
That's kind of what I'm looking at here is, because it's a rivalry game, do you think teams look ahead? Because we know Oklahoma's going to the Big 12 championship game. They're going to play Baylor again.
Oh, for them, it's most definitely a look, you know, it is the rivalry.
Because this Oklahoma State team's just not that good this year. And last week I got burned by it, but playing West Virginia because Sanders was out was something for me to consider here. The backup Brown did pretty well.
He did. And now, West Virginia's not that good.
Correct.
And I know John Murray's not going to like that, his team there. But this is a spot where Oklahoma State will score points and they will give up points. It's one of those ones going to be fun one. I just think it's a typical Big 12 game.
Shootout.
Just light it up. And Oklahoma's got to try to leave a little bit in the tank for next week because that's the game that's all the marbles for them.
VR, really quick, did you guys play Oklahoma, or is that just a personal opinion?
No, Oklahoma's a personal opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't bet the Oklahoma side.
Okay, cool. Not that I don't respect your personal opinion, but I always think
I respect a little more when it's back to us.
We're talking about NFL.
Of course.
Prepping for the NFL show as well. I'm going, oh, good God. Yeah. Okay, great stuff, guys. It is time for us to step out for a quick break, but when we return, it is the big game breakdown. That's right, the Ohio State versus Michigan game.